Hello, everybody. It is ShinNefzen, your humble host, as always, bringing you yet another Let's Play. And this is one of the truly great Super Nintendo games. This is Fire Emblem Seisen no Keifu, also known as Fire Emblem IV, Genealogy of the Holy War for the Super Nintendo. This game was never released outside of Japan, and I gotta tell you, that is a bloody shame. After completing my Sacred Stones LP, I was planning on jumping into Fire Emblem Blazing Sword, and I decided to jump online and check out. Yeah, that this part of the game isn't translated, obviously. Decided to, check out the other Fire Emblems, and it's almost in unanimous agreement among the Fire Emblem vets that this is the best of the best of the best. And, well, I couldn't live without having not played the game, so I downloaded it, gave it a try, and I gotta say, this is a great game. And I'm just gonna jump right on into it because a lot of this opening stuff is still untranslated. I'm gonna go ahead and start a new game. That is a whole bunch of stuff. Something about a dark god. A whole bunch of this, I have no idea what it's talking about, so who cares? Let's jump right into the opening. This takes place in the kingdom of Grand Bell, which rests in the center of the Yggdrasil continent, and was founded by Saint Haim, one of the 12 Crusaders. Haim's descendants, the royal family, were joined by 6 additional duchies, each with their own Crusader lineage. Each duchy possessed large territory and military holdings, and exercised partial autonomy while serving under the royal family. On behalf of the aging King Asmer, the government was administered by the highly regarded Prince Kurth. Hi, Prince Kurth. Assisting the prince was his confidant, Lord Byron of Chalfie, and Lord Ring of Ljungby. Prime Minister Reptor of Frege felt his position was being undermined. Calling on the avaricious Lord Langbart of Dozel, the two formed a coalition opposing the prince's authority. The young Lord Elvis of Velthomer, commander of the Royal Guard, had little involvement in governmental affairs. Only Father Claude of Edda could sense the impending crisis. Just as this drama was beginning to unfold, news of calamity arrived from the east. The peaceful town of Darna, located in the Yeed Desert, came under siege by Isakian barbarians. Reports told of a massive slaughter taking place. Back in Granbell, public outcry began to grow, and before long, the decision was made to subdue Isaac. Acting on his father's behalf, Prince Kurth departed for the front, commanding the lords from each duchy. There at his side, a warrior in his own right revered for his heroism and bravery, was none other than Lord Byron. Only a handful of soldiers remained in Granbell. Owing to a diplomatic alliance with Augustria to the west, and the Verdane Kingdom to the southwest, fear of any kind of aggression was virtually non-existent. However, that trust was betrayed all too soon. Verdane Kingdom's massive army, spearheaded by Prince Gandalf, yes, Prince Gandalf, crossed into Grand Bell territory unnoticed and laid siege to Ljungby Castle. Aideen, daughter of Lord Ring, had sole responsibility for the castle. Entrusted with the protection of the kingdom by his father, Lord Byron, Sigurd stayed behind at Chalfie Castle. With only a few soldiers at his disposal, he was rightfully terrified when news of the invasion reached Chalfie. Sigurd cried, "Those barbarians aren't laying a hand on Aideen." Having known Aideen since childhood, he was left with no other alternative. Sigurd promptly made the decision to take up arms. Grind Calendar 757. It was this very turn of events that cracked open the door of fate. No one at the time could have recognized this forewarning to the disastrous events to follow. Pretty ominous opening. These are the Verdanian forces. Very barbaric type kingdom. You know, lots of kill first and ask questions later type of people. My lady, the castle's completely surrounded. We failed you miserably. Madeira, it's alright. Everyone gave their best. You needn't worry about me anymore. Please save yourself. I want as many of you to get out of this alive as possible. None of us are going anywhere, my lady. We're here for you till the very end, even if it means our lives. Thank you, Madeira. I'm so sorry to put you through all this. And before you go getting any ideas, Madeira is a man. Doesn't look like it, but Madeira is a man. And this here, the fellow with the blue hair is the main character, Sigurd. And the guy next to him is Noish, one of the worst characters ever. Yeah, that's a good idea. We're basically the skeleton crew that got left behind, and now someone's deciding to invade, so it's just the few of us to hold them off. Damn straight! Yeah, villages work a little differently in this game than they did in later Fire Emblems. Keeping in mind that this was the fourth game of, basically, not counting Shadow Dragon as it was just a remake of the first game, the fourth game of a 10-game series so far. This introduced the weapon triangle and the magic triangle as well. Unlike later Fire Emblems where bandits would reach a village and destroy it, in this one, it takes 5 turns for a bandit to completely destroy a village. The longer the bandit stays at the village, the less money you get for rescuing the villagers. Oi Fei, he's 14, and he's our strategist. We're off to a good start. Probably not. Yes, no fighting for the 14-year-old girly boys. Yes, in this game we have a home castle that we have to defend, but in this introductory mission it's not something we have to worry about, really. Arden, this guy is ugly. He is your standard tank-style dude. He is incredibly slow, he's got good defense, and he's incredibly slow. Very slow. Yeah, it's alright. We can take everybody out in this first battle. Alrighty, this is our first turn. And as I'm really not... this is, again, mostly a blind run, so you'll be seeing me popping save states here and there. I mean, that one's more of a matter of convenience. I'm just saving at the beginning of the battle just in case things go awry, so we don't have to sit through that delightful opening again. Anyway, let me go through stuff real quick. Let me get Sigurd up on screen here. Now, just like other Fire Emblem games, we have weapons with durability. You know, we can use each of those weapons, these particular weapons, 50 times before they break and need replacing. On the left, we have our basic stats. Up top we have slightly more specific. We have our attack power, hit rating, our attack range, our evasion. Oh, excuse me, it's early in the morning and I should probably be sleeping right now. And we have his Lord Knight class. He is level 5 with 35 hit points out of 35 possible. Now here's where we look at some stuff. On the left we see personal data. You see stars next to the lead. For other characters, next to lead it displays the leader of their unit, so usually Sigurd. But since Sigurd can't lead himself, he has a star rating. Now what happens is if there's a 2-star rating it doesn't do anything, but a 3-star rating increases nearby units' evasion and accuracy by 10, 4 stars by 20, 5 stars by 30, and so on and so forth. Now, Lover is kind of like the support skill in later Fire Emblems, but this is important as the characters that hook up and get married in the first half of the game influence the characters in the second half of the game a great deal. So if this is something you neglect or don't pay too much attention to, you can inadvertently end up weakening yourself pretty considerably. The talk is just who has who. It's somewhat similar to support again. It's just characters that you can talk to on the field and have unique conversations with. Their movement radius, how much gold they have. Now this is important because unlike other Fire Emblem games and other RPGs in general, it's not that the whole party has a single pool of gold that they can all pull from. Each character has their own individual pool of gold to buy weapons and etc. and so on. The arena, unlike later Fire Emblems where you can just cheese the arena and go there infinitely, you can only do 7 battles per chapter, I believe it is, and your arena ranking tells you which of those levels you're on, and your state down there is just your status. Nothing too fancy. Now we can press X. As you can see on the bottom right there, it says special skill. We see that Sigurd has pursuit, which lets him attack if he's more agile than his opponent. Now this is interesting, as in later Fire Emblems, you know, you would, if your speed was higher than opponents, you would attack, they would attack, then you would attack again. But in this game, that's a skill, and that skill is pursuit. Characters without pursuit will never get that extra secondary attack, regardless of how high their skill is. Then on the right we see that Sigurd can use swords quite ably and has a B rating in lances, hence his equipment loadout. Just take a quick look at Noish. He's got critical, so he has a good, decent chance for critical hits to double his attack power, and his charge ability allows him to keep fighting. If his agility is significantly higher than his opponent's, he gets the ability to basically get extra attacks. Alec has pursuit and nihil, meaning his opponents cannot land critical hits against him. I already looked at you, Sigurd. Then we have Arden, who has ambush. Basically, when his hit points are below 50%, he will always attack first in combat. Even if an opponent attacks him, he will get the first shot. Now, he's defending the castle right now, but honestly, it's not something I really need to worry about in this first fight. The enemies aren't that aggressive, so we can just head right out and get into it. Let's see, let's send you this way. First battle of the game. Oh, let me go over this real quick. Anime is short for animation. You can change it so you do normal one-on-one battle animations. Turn them off so all combat's just done on the map. There aren't any fancy animations. Or you can turn it on or off for specific characters, like, you know, healing. If you don't feel like watching characters to go through the whole animation for casting heal spells, you can turn that off and then it'll just handle it on the map. But that's no fun. That's all the part of the fun of Fire Emblem. Now, unlike later Fire Emblem games where it just blatantly told you how much damage each of you would do to each other, this time you gotta do the work a little bit yourself. Now you see that big box on the left there, that's my opponent's statistics, and that smaller box on the right is mine. So I'm going to hit him definitely. The bottom number is accuracy. Now in order to figure out how much damage we do to him, you just take the attack number, which is 21, minus the opponent's defense, which is 5, and we figure I'll do 16 damage to him. Conversely, he will do 11 to me. So let's go ahead and get into our first fight. As you can see, this is some very saucy, smooth animation for a Super Nintendo game. And we'll move him a little further back. And have Sigurd come in to finish this guy off. We will stop in the woods because that gives us evasion increase. And this guy is using an axe, so according to the weapons triangle, swords beat axes, axes beat lances, lances beat swords. So you get a hit and evasion bonus against them. So we're going to do 19 damage to him, and then our pursuit ability will go off as well. And Sigurd has a very agile horse as well. Yay, go Sigurd! Alright, and we shall move Alec. Yeah, frankly, Noish here, he's just bad. Now, since Arden has been assigned with the task of defending the castle, I have to select the depart option before I can move him. And those are our only units, so let's end. And it's the enemy's turn. As you can see, even though this is the first battle, the game is not cutting me a lot of slack. There are a lot of enemies on this map, and that's not all of them. What's taking you more around so long to take this dinky castle? Never mind, I'll do it myself. You held out pretty well for being on your own. But I've got you now. Die! No, my dear, no! Lady Adine, forgive me. Yeah, that's a guy. That is a guy. How... Well, there goes my dear. Oh, who have we here? Lady Adine of Youngby. You're coming with me. DiMaggio. Some of these names I can't take seriously. DiMaggio, Gandalf, I mean, come on. I'll be back with Kinboyce. I mean, come on. What are these names? There is Dragon Away Dean. At least these guys have intelligence. Hey, blow up the bridge so they can't follow us. Good idea! These guys all look so intelligent. That's kind of creepy, dude. I doubt it's going to happen. Alright, I'm not going to lie, I seem pretty sorely outnumbered here. Bring it! Attacking Sigurd like you know what you're doing. Sigurd is probably one of the best lords out of the entire series, especially once you start beefing him up. Now see how his attack destroyed one segment of the village? Takes 5 turns to do it completely. For each section they destroy of the village, our gold bonus is decreased by 500 gold. Finally, some reinforcements. Here we have Lex and Azel. Yeah, it's true. are you talking about, Lex? Yeah, Azel has the hots for Adine. Chance to kick some ass. Alright. We got some good units up there in Lex and Azel, but let's deal with this stuff down here first. Not gonna lie, Alec isn't that good a unit either. Mostly because he's equipped with a crappy iron sword. I mean, look at this. He's only gonna do 8 damage to this guy. He is just not impressive at all. And retreat back. Of course, cavalry can take a movement, then an action, and then finish the rest of their movement range if they so desire. You know what? Let's head up and give Lex and Azel some happy fun time here. Lex has his iron sword, and he's going to do quite a bit of damage. Now the problem, Lex doesn't have pursuit. In fact, what does Lex have? Ambush. And, oh yes, I forgot. Lex has Elite. Receive double XP. Now you know why he's good. Azel is our first mage. And he has Pursuit. So let's Pursuit and Fire Magic. So, yeah, let's just go right there. Right in the woods. Now, Fire Magic in this game is, I don't know if it's the heaviest type of magic, but it's certainly up there. And we see that he has no defense against magic, so we'll be taking the full brunt of it. Boom. This game's interesting in that it has multiple magic triangles. Anima magic, which it still encompasses all the elements, but in later games, anima magic is just kind of its own category. In this game, anima magic consists of fire, wind, and thunder magic. Don't ask me why I blanked right there. Fire, wind, and thunder magic. However, fire is strong against wind. Wind is strong against light. God, I hope I'm getting this right. This is one of the few games that has the multiple triangles. Fire is strong. Yeah, I think it's fire strong against wind, wind strong against lightning, lightning strong against fire. But then you have light and dark magic, which have no strength or weakness against each other, but both of which are strong against anima magic, which is all three of those magics in general. So yeah, try to remember all that. There's a lot to remember in this game, which definitely does add a lot to the whole strategy thing. I wonder if I'm gonna do what I did last. Yeah, since I kind of know what's going to happen in this fight, I'm going to split Noish up here. I just don't want you taking that much damage, man. Yeah, there are no vulneraries in this game, so characters aren't going to be healing themselves a whole lot. Ouch! Yeah, this first chapter can be pretty intimidating. What the sheer number of enemies on screen. And this is not your basic tutorial stage where it kind of goes easy on you. It just throws you right into the thick of things. No, we got another section. I don't know what I was thinking. Bandits will always put priority on attacking the village first. I could have attacked him pretty easily. Finally, more. This girl is Sigurd's sister. In this game, the heal staff is called the live staff. This gentleman is Quan. He is quite good. And that's Ethelyn. She married the prince of another country. Now, Ethelyn's a unique unit in the Fire Emblem series in that she can attack with physical weapons and use healing staves. She's fairly average at both, but that type of versatility is something you didn't really see in later titles. Usually the best you got in the later games were bishops that could use light magic and healing staves. It's a far cry from using swords and healing staves. Let's go ahead and pop into this village here. Swords are stronger than axes, axes are stronger than lances, lances are stronger than swords. Thank you. And if you find yourself hurting, the church is your one-stop shop to full recovery. It ain't free, the going rate's 5 gold for each hit point. And we got 5,000 G for saving the place. Now, churches are these little buildings that say "chur." Now, those are going to be an important method of healing, especially early in the game here when I only have one healer, and a lot of times the healer isn't going to be close to everybody. You can step on the church, and on your next turn they will restore you to full life. Unlike forts in this game and later games where they would restore either 10 or 20% of your hit points depending on which version you're playing. So let's move to the woods. I am not really worried about Lex. Let's move him onto the church. Go get him, Noish. Yeah, we'll move him just a tad away to keep him out of range. Quan, go talk to Sigurd. Oops. That was Alec. They look the same. Finn is terrible. He's not the worst guy, but he starts off really weak. I hear he gets a little better as he levels, but why would I put up with someone that's terrible just to get someone that's passable later on? I see how you're going to be, game. Oh, don't attack. Use your live staff on him. And I'll probably fast forward through healing sections as well, as I did in Sacred Stones. Arden, first shot. He has just an iron sword as well. But the archer can attack back in point blank range, so free XP for him. Yeah, let's get Sigurd. Should be getting the main character experience, right? I love his super jumping horse. Okay, I like to move Sigurd south here. You know, like I just say that like it's something I've done 50 times before, not just once. Alright. It's kind of unique music for the boss, for the enemy's turn. Kind of feels out of place in this game, but it's still a pretty neat beat. Don't kill Lex. For the love of God, don't kill Lex. Yes! Ambush skill for the win! That is why that skill is amazing. That's why it's hard to kill Lex. You know, guy comes up to deal the finishing blow. Lex gets his ambush skill, so he just hits first, and he hits hard. Like, even though Lex doesn't have pursuit, he hits hard enough that it doesn't feel like it's that horrible of a handicap. Now, since he's on the church square, he will heal to full. Costs some money, but you can replace money. Lives, not so much. As we can see, he lost 145 gold, but Not too bad considering, he gets to live now. We'll have him chop this guy's face off. Yay, our first level. And just like another Fire Emblem game, it's random stats, but that wasn't bad. Hit points, speed, strength, and luck. Have Azel finish this guy off. God, I keep forgetting he has a hand axe. It's not so obvious in these earlier games. And we gain another level with Azel this time. Hit points, skill, and speed. Acceptable. Alright, Arden, go get him. Such heavy armor. Alright, Finn, I'm gonna give you a chance. Don't know why. Not too bad. The biggest problem with Finn is that, he's not the most atrocious character ever, but his defense is pretty lame for his class. Quan here, however, is pretty good. He's the first character to have a javelin and a ranged... in fact, I'll just attack him from range. Javelin can attack from 2 squares away. And since my opponent has a melee weapon, he can't counterattack. Which is, of course, fantastic. Alright, sir, get up there. I'd like you to level up, please. You are the main character. Hooray! Hit point and luck can do worse. No one down here need healing? 30 out of there we go. It's important to get that early experience with your healers. Guess I'll just move you this way. Oh. Didn't realize the cursor was still on her. Yeah, look there. I don't want to lose the... I'm just afraid that... what the heck, I'm in a safe spot. Yes, Fire Emblem is one of those few games where I reserve the right to save state. Death is permanent in this game. Well, mostly. There's one item that can bring someone back to life, but once it breaks, it costs about 30,000 gold to repair it, and, no. Not gonna happen. Games like this, I don't really look at save state as, well, I don't look at save stating in general as a cheat unless it's excessive in action games. Most people that have been watching my videos know I generally avoid save states. I can count on one hand the number of videos out of my, as of this recording, 154 that have save states in them at all. However, a game like this, I find it quite acceptable. No one wants to repeat an hour-long battle because they pressed the wrong button or made one decision that just ended up going poorly, or, even worse, a lucky critical hit. Sadly, not a whole lot I can do about these ones. Man, it just feels like I'm surrounded all of a sudden. Get him, Sigurd. And as you probably saw, Sigurd starts with a steel sword, so that makes him quite good in comparison to a lot of the other characters here that are just chilling with iron weapons. And Quan also has a magical jumping horse. Don't miss him, Noish. Well, I have the healer right next to you, so go for it, Finn. Or you can just, dodge the attack. That's fine, too. Arden's so slow. Wonder if Ethlin can finish him off. 13 minus 8, that's 5. Guess we heal someone. 25 out of 36, 11 out of... They're both missing 11 HP, huh? Kinda tempted to just ride up and finish this guy off. Go, Alec. Really? Alright. Yeah, she can use a turn at the church. Alright, south is clear, so we can just head straight across. Sounds like some weird, creepy gang music. Not that I'm complaining, it's a good track. It's just, it still seems kind of out of place to me. Well, again, apologize if any of my yawning is getting picked up on the microphone. I did not realize how tired I was when I sat down for this. Now I better get Quan healed. Yeah, not a whole lot of hope for those villages. Yeah, this is going to be a primary method of healing, these churches here. Might seem weird to some of the Fire Emblem vets out there, and you're right, it kind of is. But nothing we can't adapt to. Yay, he's been healed. Alright, we got 3 dudes close by, so Sigurd will just destroy one of them. Or almost destroy one of them. Gonna find Sigurd's pretty much your best overall unit for quite some time. Get him, Quan. Alright. Keep forgetting the whole double move thing. Arden needs some attention, I guess. And we'll have Alec. And if he survives, we'll have Finn get in on this. Well, he certainly survived. And Norse needs love. Actually, most of my units here are mounted, so I'm just not used to trying to remember everyone's name in this game yet. Hazel has quite a bit of work cut out for him to catch up to the other members. Okay. Alright, first thing, probably going to spend a round healing. Yay, fast forward. Just through heals after you've seen them a while. It's just a little more interesting that way. Excuse me. Alright, let's make a quick stop up here. I accidentally hit wait. I've done that a couple times. I blame playing Shining Force for the Genesis earlier. You can't tell me that music sounds perfectly normal. Again, not a bad track. It's just if I was just like if I just heard this music, I wouldn't be like, totally, this is Fire Emblem. Somebody please kill this guy. Bah. Bah. I do that a lot too. I do that a lot too because the controller's kind of finicky. should be able to. Right, jeez. My brain must be turning off or something. I'm sitting there pressing the button. I'm like, why won't the menu come up? That's weird. Yeah, maybe if I press the confirm button and not the cancel button, something will happen. Good lord. That's probably a hint I should be ending the video soon. The ruling family of this area has produced master swordsmen for generations. It's no surprise, as the Chelfies are all descended from Baldo, the god of light. If we just had Lord Byron's holy Tearfing, those barbarians wouldn't have a prayer. And we got 2000 G for our troubles. Now... This is interesting because this group is being slightly less aggressive, but that's not saying a whole lot of this group. I should be able to move him in fairly close, really. Yeah, he's almost at full life. I don't suppose you need healing? Sure do. Everyone has gone. Yes, yes. No, leave those town people alone. Alright, everyone, I'm actually going to end the first video here. We're closing in on nearly 50 minutes. I think that's more than sufficient for the first video. This is certainly the longest first chapter in a Fire Emblem game I've ever seen. But I think we got a good taste of what we're looking at here, and hopefully I can come back in part 2 and be quite a bit more refreshed and on my A game here. Thanks everyone for checking out the first part. This is an awesome game, so I hope you'll stick around and at least watch a few more. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time when we finish the introductory chapter. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then.